on the campus of Ridgefield High School inside Tiger Hollow Stadium. This is FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Saturday of football here on the HAN Network. Frank Granito standing alongside John Kovach, Kevin Coleman, and Kate Chaplensky. And it's a rivalry renewed after a couple years without playing each other. Wilton and Ridgefield re-meet on the gridiron. And Kev, as an alumni of Ridgefield, a former athlete in this rivalry, talk a little bit about the emotions surrounding today.
Well, Frank, I'm sure we're going to touch upon it later, not only in the tailgate show, but during the broadcast. But I was able to be at Wilton's practice Thursday, Ridgefield's practice yesterday, Friday. Both teams are very excited. You can tell the emotions are starting to come out a little bit. The coaching staffs are telling them, guys, save it for the game a little bit. We know the crowd's going to be into it. We expect a full crowd from the Ridgefield side. Guys, look out for that visitor side. The Wilton Warriors are coming. The Roll Tribe is coming today to support the Warriors.
I know he's a Ridgefield alumni, but don't be confused. He might be pulling for the Warriors today, John. And it'll be interesting seeing the Wilton offense for the first time, because it really does contrast most styles of the current day FCIAC, where everyone is trying to spread it out and fling it around the field. Wilton has stayed true to their colors, and they want to ground and pound.
Frank, if styles make the fights, this is going to be a slugfest today, because you have a Ridgefield offense that wants to do it through the air. They're averaging over 220 yards passing a game. You've got a Wilton offense that wants to do it on the ground. They're averaging over 220 yards a game on the ground. This is a bulldozer versus a race car. Who's going to win?
And it's a rivalry that we really got to see in full effect last season. They were at the forefront of the conference, starting with that conference championship game in basketball at Alumni Hall at Fairfield University. What an incredible that atmosphere was, but it wouldn't be topped until they met again at Harbor Yard for the baseball championship. So only fitting now they're playing in a playoff-like scenario here, Kevin, in football, with both teams already having 2 losses and really not being able to afford a third here.
Well, I think a talking point we can bring up today is that I think you look at this game. This is a game that I think you throw out the records. This is a game these two circle on the calendar in August when the schedules come out.
Plenty of football to come up, but of course we've also got Kate Chaplensky here. She's got our feature piece of the week. Kate, tell us a little more about what we can expect.
Well, Frank, I'm going to be talking with Kate, Brooke, and Max, who are all Wish kids from Ridgefield, Connecticut. And, you know, Make-A-Wish Connecticut is going to be set up here today. And there's over 200 wishes right now waiting to be granted. So we need support for Make-A-Wish, so we're going to be talking a lot about that today.
It'll be a lot of fun. It is a big day for Make-A-Wish here at Tiger Hollow. It's a big day for FCIAC football. We'll, of course, look back at the 3 games played last night in the conference. 4 other games going on as well today. John, is there one in particular that stands out to you outside of here?
Today's games, I mean, there's a couple of great matchups. I mean, the one that intrigues me probably the most, West Hill at Greenwich, because you've got a West Hill team that has some athletes that's starting to trend in the right direction. You've got a Greenwich team that nobody's been able to stop.
It'll definitely be a lot of fun. Kev caught up with a couple of members of both football teams earlier in the week. We'll hear what they had to say leading up to this game. Plenty to come, and it's all happening right here on the HAN Network. FCIAC Tailgate will be back right after this.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net, to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through October 31st.
Kitchen Center offers quality cabinetry and affordable pricing. Visit our showroom for a free consultation with our professional design staff. For all your other home improvement needs, visit Northeast Building Supply, our full-service lumberyard and window showroom. The Kitchen Center, a division of Northeast Building Supply, 1470 Barnum Avenue, Bridgeport. Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplensky, and we're always happy to partner with Make-A-Wish Connecticut. And I'm joined today by Wish Kid Max and his brother Harry. Max actually got to meet Bruno Mars last year, which is so cool. Harry, what was that experience like for Max?
Well, I mean, it was really great because, you know, Max, he loves Bruno Mars and, you know, all his music. So, you know, it was really great to go there and meet him, and he really loved it. It was a great experience for everyone. And, you know, like, it was just really good. It was really fun. Yeah.
And now I have to say it's so cool because Make-A-Wish, it's all about the family. You guys all experienced this together.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, you know, it was really special because the whole family was there. You know, my mom was there, my dad was there, and, of course, Max. And, you know, it was really great to just come together and, you know, watch the concert and meet Bruno Mars. It was just a really good experience.
That's really awesome. All right, well, we're going to have more Wish Kids joining us in just a bit, and you could support Make-A-Wish by visiting ct.wish.org. We'll be back right after this.
Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more. Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077. Voted Best Gourmet.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplinsky and so happy to be joined by more Wish Kids from Ridgefield, Connecticut. I have Brooke and I have Kate joining me. Now, Brooke's wish last year was to go to St. Croix, and Kate went to Disney World, which is so cool. Now, Brooke, first I want to ask you, why did you decide on St. Croix? Why did you pick that?
Because I love when I go to a beach and there's clear water and no seaweed.
Perfect answer. Now, Kate, you got to go to Disney World with all your family. What was your favorite part?
I really like horses, and there were horses there, and I got to see most of the theme parks.
So cool. And how many siblings do you have that went with you?
3.
So much fun. And again, you can support Make-A-Wish Connecticut if you're here at the game today. You can go to the Make-A-Wish table, or you could visit ct.wish.org. Help create lasting memories and special moments for children with serious medical conditions. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more FCIAC Tailgate after this. Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more. Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Wild Birds Unlimited.
At Wild Birds Unlimited of Brookfield, get expert advice from our certified bird feeding specialists. We offer always fresh, clean seed that will be sure to attract birds to your home feeder. Experience our excellent customer service. Open 7 days a week. Visit us at 317 Federal Road, Brookfield.
Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
Back on the HAN Network, Frank Renito with Kevin Coleman and John Kovich. A great job by all of our Wish Kids. We'll have more on them later on during the day, so stay tuned for that. Let's take a look now, though, at Friday night action in the FCIAC. We had 3 games Let's start with New Canaan and Trinity Catholic, John. New Canaan coming off that tough loss against the Greenwich Cardinals. Trinity coming in off a win against Ludlow, but the Rams returned to form against the Rams last night.
A little bit of a struggle early for the Rams, but they righted the ship. Seamus O'Hora lives every defensive lineman's dream and picks off a screen. I mean, what a nights I thought, I wish I was doing that. And then Drew Pine just does what he does, 11 for 16, 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, and it's just the Rams going away 42-6.
2 of those touchdowns to Quentin O'Connell last night, Kevin, so good to see those two getting back in sync as they'll have to run the table down the stretch of the regular season if they want to play for a state title.
They will. You didn't see that connection last week against Greenwich between Drew Pine and Quentin O'Connell, so it's good to see those two back at it. It's good to see Drew Pine back at it, 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards passing.
Greco and Metzger also adding touchdown catches in that game. Trinity starting to feel the effects of this long season with the small roster. But let me ask you this, John. Are we potentially looking at a New Canaan team that belongs in the same category as, say, Staples, where they're going to win big against those lesser teams, but all of a sudden aren't quite able to hang with the top teams in the conference?
I think we're going to learn a lot about that on Thanksgiving Day. It's entirely possible. I don't know that it would be a situation that would last, but you do have a New Canaan team that's trying to hit stride this year. And last night they did, but like you said, against the St. Joe's, against the Greenwich, they were, looked like a different club, looked like a different class.
And the big issue really for the Rams right now being discipline. They were better last night, didn't hit double-digit penalties, but again, talking about Thanksgiving, looking way too far ahead here, the Rams have got to be a little bit concerned with some of the mental mistakes they're making.
They are, and it seems like the big games, that's when they're really committing the big penalties, and that's a concern going into the Thanksgiving game on Turkey Bowl is if they're going up against Darien. We all know, we mentioned already this season, you have to play a perfect game. No penalties, you have to be disciplined, so the Rams got to clean it up there on the penalties.
Well, sorry, Frank.
No, go ahead, John.
And Kev, you talk about this game, about the coaches trying to tell the kids stay reeled in, save some of the emotion for game day. You've got a New Canaan team that's made undisciplined penalties in games that weren't the Darien game. When they're all amped up on Thanksgiving, that could go horribly off the tracks.
And John, it's the offensive line that worries me because you look at that Greenwich game, so many offsides calls on the offensive line. That's what worries me going to the Turkey Bowl.
Procedure penalties have obviously been a major issue, but you talk about the emotion surrounding a game like that. It's the personal fouls. The Rams have had so many personal fouls and unnecessary penalties. That's got to be scary. We'll learn more about New Canaan again next week when they welcome Pascack Valley from New Jersey for their homecoming game. That'll be an interesting matchup Saturday at 1:30. Next up on Friday night's docket, St. Joe's 48, the Stanford Black Knights 20. Cadets, after needing all 4 quarters last week to escape Ridgefield, they bounce back and look dominant again. A big win for the Cadets, John.
Jaden Sheridan runs for 3 touchdowns. David Summers throws for 4, 3 of those to Jared Malazzi, and St. Joe's finds its stride after really snatching victory from the jaws of defeat last week against these Ridgefield Tigers.
Jaden Sheridan been one of the more interesting players in the conference this year. A lot of hype surrounding the sophomore, high expectations. And to put it in fantasy terms, he's really been hit or miss depending on the week. It is boom or bust. You're going to get over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns, or he is going to be completely held in check. He's a player they need to be consistently going, Kev, if they're going to make a big run in that Class S tournament.
They do, and maybe a game like this last night gets him going, gets the confidence going, and I think another guy on the St. Joe's team that kind of goes unnoticed is Phil Pesmeg. He made some great catches last night on 3rd and short, really kept some drives going for the Cadets. He's a guy they really need. He's a safety net for David Summers.
Diamantis and Bike, also players we're going to need to step up and play big on the outside down the stretch, especially when teams start to focus in more on Jared Malazzi. Are you a little concerned about the defense, Sean? I know they won by 28, but 20 points last night against Stanford. They probably felt they could have held them to less. Plus, they allowed Jackson Mitchell to just run wild last week. 17 catches, almost 300 yards. We're talking Malazzi-type numbers. The defense has been great at times, and then has been a major concern for the Cadets.
When I saw them in the preseason, I was struck by the fact that they can bring a lot of pressure from a lot of different angles. But if you're going to do that, your secondary's got to be strong. And I saw a couple of little missed stitches there where things went wrong. We saw it a little bit against New Canaan. They survived that. They have to fix that. And I would be concerned given the number of points given up against Ridgefield last week and then to Stanford this week.
They benefit a lot here. You got rid of really that tough stretch of schedule early on in the year. The Cadets still have Staples looming. That game will be at home. Trumbull on Thanksgiving, but I think we're all in the position right now that just Trumbull is not quite ready to hang with the Cadets this year.
They're not, and it's surprising because going into the season, we really thought Trumbull was going to be one of those real teams. You look back at that Greenwich game, we thought that was going to be a much tighter game, and it really wasn't. So, big surprise here this year for the Trumbull Eagles. We can only hope they can bounce back in 2018.
And I think it's less the Greenwich game now that we look at and more the New Canaan game. Greenwich putting 70 up on you week 1 and you had some injuries, you can work your way around it. Then coming back and having a New Canaan team that's struggling beat you down pretty good, that's more of a telling tale for Trumbull, I think, John.
Right, that it's happened twice, that you talk about teams coming up short in the big games. That's Trumbull's in that middle tier there where they're going to win the games they should right now. But against the upper echelon, they're going to struggle. We've seen that. They've got a lot of work to do if they're going to have a chance on Thanksgiving.
We remember, though, Thanksgiving last year, a similar situation, and it was the Eagles who handed the Cadets a disappointing beat down there. Last game from Friday night, Staples at Norwalk. The Wreckers a 27-0 victory over the Bears. No A.J. Hall in this game last night, John, and I think it showed for the Norwalk offense, which was stymied, but a very good bounce-back win for a Wreckers team coming off 2 very tough losses.
Tough losses for them, and then they struggled. It was 10-0 at the half with a Ben Vandermeer field goal and a Brandon Adrian run, and then Danny Thompson breaks 2. In the second half, you get another Vandermeer field goal to round out the scoring. How much emotionally, not just in the X's and O's sense, did the Bears miss A.J. Hall? Because the Bears are so young. You need a veteran out there. Maybe he's not your quarterback. He's not always to say, guys, it's all right. We got this. Put it on my back. All of a sudden, that veteran presence was gone from the huddle with Hall out. That had to affect him on the field.
Well, it's just such a big loss, too, when you think about his presence on that offense. It forces defense to game plan around him, and it takes some of the pressure off Kyle Phillips in the backfield, allows him to be successful and possibly have that less of a blitz concern at times. So that struggles. But for the Wreckers, again, Kev, taking care of business against the teams they need to, but now how do they come back in a couple weeks and handle St. Joe's?
Well, they need to use this as a confidence builder. And John's actually so right about how important A.J. Hall is to this Norwalk team. But this is a really nice bounce-back win for Staples after a tough loss last week. A nice week of practice, get a nice 27-0 win like that, boost the confidence for the Wreckers defense and the offense too. Danny Thompson too, 2 big runs, that'll boost the confidence.
And that was where I was going to go next. Huge to see Thompson getting involved the way he did in the run game and having success. It's going to open up the pass game, which Staples doesn't want to rely on. The big thing for me, John, and I think is why Staples could have a chance to upset a St. Joe's, to upset a Greenwich on Thanksgiving, my X factor would be Ben Vandermeer. I think he is one of the best kickers in the state. It goes unnoticed, and he's very underrated. If they're in a tight game and you're sitting around the 30-yard line, this is a kid who I think could hit one from 40-plus to give you a game-winning field goal.
44-yarder last night to wrap up the scoring. The kid's got a leg. You cannot overstate how important that is in high school football. If you have a kicker, you basically have an extra player because most teams don't.
We are going to take a break here on FCIAC Tailgate. When we get back, we're going to catch up with a couple of members of the Wilton Warriors football team, hear how they're feeling heading into today's rivalry game. That's coming up next on FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Base Star and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off tour with the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network from Tiger Hollow Stadium here on the campus of Ridgefield High School. And now we will hear from a couple players on the Wilton football squad. Kev, you were at practice earlier in the week. You caught up with Harvey Alexander and Brian Calabrese, 2 huge parts of this Wilton offense.
Yeah, got to speak with the 2 guys, and they're excited. You know, these are 2 leaders on the team. I know, Harvey is really the heart and soul of this team as one of the captains, and we talked about not getting your emotions too hyped up before game time. They were hyped up on Thursday when I was at practice, but Harvey's the type of player to kind of say, hey guys, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's, reel back. Let's focus. And that's a key thing, is that this team is focused. They know what task is at hand. They want to take care of business. They know they're on the road. They know it's going to be a loud crowd, but they're ready to take the crowd out of this game.
Alexander, obviously one of our players to watch early on in the preseason. Let's hear what the senior running back and junior quarterback had to say heading into today's rivalry game.
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman here at Wilton High School, getting ready for Saturday's big-time matchup against the rival Ridgefield Tigers, here with 2 Wilton football players. We got Brian Calabrese, starting quarterback of the Warriors, and starting running back, Harvey Alexander. Guys, thanks for spending a couple minutes with me. Brian, I'll start with you. You guys have to take care of business here against a rival. What does the offense need to do to take care of business against the rival here on the road at Tiger Hollow?
We got to control the clock. We got to control our run game, pounding ground, and just control the clock.
What has the offseason been like for you? Did you do anything different this year? It looks like you're a lot more composed in the pocket.
Yeah, I guess Yale camp definitely helped with that. We went there over the summer with our team, worked on a lot of stuff there, and then working up to preseason.
Now, what's the chemistry like with this guy right here? I mean, he's racking up all the yards. What's it like working with him on the offense?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we had to work with the triple option, just the mesh, the feeling it out and everything. But we're pretty good friends off the field, so we were able to talk about it, just have a good conversation, and really get it clicking.
Harvey, 4 consecutive games now of over 100 yards rushing. What's been working for you?
I mean, the line's been giving us holes. That's what it comes down to. It's great to get the ball and look up and just see open field, because those guys are blowing guys off the line. So, I mean, it really helps when there's a lot of room to run.
I just asked Brian the same question. What's that chemistry like between you and the quarterback?
I mean, we've been playing together since 7th grade, since I first started. I've had a couple other quarterbacks, but we've been working together for the longest. So it's just natural at this point.
And what has your offseason been like? I mean, you're coming out playing so strong as a running back. What's it been like for you this season?
I mean, since last season ended with that win against Trinity, we've been thinking about this next season, knew that there was going to be some new games coming up. So just in the offseason, getting in the weight room, working on agility, all that stuff, making sure I was ready to go.
Obviously an emotional game. You guys are playing against a rival in the Ridgefield Tigers. What are you expecting from the crowd Saturday?
I mean, we saw what it was like in the winter with the basketball game, and hopefully we have something close to that, because that was amazing, and it pumped up the basketball team, and I'm sure it'll pump up us.
Brian, what are you expecting from this crowd on Saturday at Tiger Hollow? Not only, the Tigers fans are going to come in, but what are you expecting from the Roll Tribe?
Oh, we're going to have the tribe out there. We're going to have the tribe out there.
If you could describe this team in one word, what would it be?
Close. We're a close team, which the chemistry and the off-the-field relationships really brings us close together on the field.
Now we're giving some offense some love. We got to show some defense some love too. What's been the defense like, this season, making some great plays, making some big stops? What's been working for this defense?
Defense, Harvey leads the defense as well, both sides of the ball. We got Kyle Phillips back there, great free safety, 2 interceptions last game, I think. Murtha on the other corner. Drew Hurlin's a stud, both sides of the ball. We got some new defensive linemen going in there, Marcelo. Got a great, just can't stop listing them off.
And Harvey, what's been working on this defense? Obviously, we know everything's clicking for you in the offensive end. Defense, what's been clicking with this defense right now?
We've got a lot of new starters this year, and just the turnover from last year, we know that we have to get 11 hats on the ball and make sure that if they do get a couple yards, we stop them right away. And playing a passing offense against Ridgefield, we got to make sure that we're efficient because we know that they can sling the ball around. So we got to get our reads, get to the right spot, and we'll be good.
Now, as a leader and a senior, what are you telling your team, not only in the locker room before the game, the bus ride, what are you telling your teammates to get them up for the game?
That don't take this opportunity for granted. The last 2 teams haven't had the opportunity to play Ridgefield, and I'm sure they feel the same way up there. We can't wait to play them. We know that this is a great opportunity to show what type of team we have and just to get to 4-2. That's the main goal, get to 4-2 and keep building.
Brian, you guys, that first drive, how important is it to take the crowd out of the game early on?
It's pretty important to take the crowd out of the game. When you're on the field, you're not really trying to pay attention to the crowd as much, but it's still a factor. So if we get that first drive, try to quiet them down a little bit, it'd be a lot easier.
What's the message to the Wilton Warrior Tribe right now, the student session? What's your message to them to get them hyped up against the Tigers?
They got to be loud. They got to be louder than Ridgefield. Ridgefield's going to have a lot of people. We got to bring the same amount and be louder.
All right, Harvey, same thing for you. What are you saying to the student section right now to get them pumped up against the Tigers?
Get rowdy. Be there because we know we're going to be there, and we're going to try and give you something to cheer about.
All right, guys, best of luck. We're going to step back. When we come back, we'll have plenty more coverage here on FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network.
Great job by both Brian and Harvey. The big thing that stood out to me, and it was very early in that conversation, Kevin, asking Calabrese, what do you think the key to the game will be? Controlling the clock.
Yeah.
They have a lot of faith in this offensive line. It's why Alexander has been so successful in most games this year. But if the Warriors can control the pace of this game and they have got the clock on their side, it bodes very well for their chances today.
It does, and I think that's part of the game plan is that they want to take the crowd out of this game early on. They also want to kill a lot of clock early on. If they can win the coin toss, maybe get the ball first, really kill a lot of time, even if it's just a field goal, that is so important to get that first points on the board on the road.
Get those points on the board, suck the life out of this home crowd, and we know there's going to be a big Wilton contingent here today. Let them get into this game, try to control all that momentum. We'll hear what the Ridgefield players had to say when we get back. We've got more FCIAC Tailgate coming up next on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during the summer clearance event, you'll find some of our best prices too. Like this lease on a 2017 Ram Quad Cab Express for $149 a month. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN Network.
Are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network. Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman. We just heard from a couple members of the Wilton football squad. We'll now catch up with a couple players from Ridgefield, specifically Greg Gatto and Jackson Mitchell. And talking about Mitchell, Kev, we said on Monday this week when announcing our Athlete of the Week nominees, very rarely is a player from a losing effort acknowledged in this voting process. But what a game for the junior wideout. 17 catches, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns against St. Joseph's.
Unbelievable performance. And when I was at practice yesterday, Frank, it was a tough loss for the Ridgefield Tigers, tough loss in program history, really. You think about losing on 2 onside kicks. No one's really ever seen that, and it was just an unbelievable comeback for the Cadets. I really liked how this team was able to just say, you know what, turn the page. It happened, we're over it. Focused all week. Talked to Coach Kevin Callahan. He said this team's over it. They're putting it behind us. And speaking with Greg Gatto and Jackson Mitchell, these two guys very confident in their team. And I got to tell you, Jackson Mitchell, he's a big dude. This guy's not messing around. There's a reason why he's putting up all these big yards.
It's interesting because hearing Coach Callahan's quotes, and he talked about how they were in a similar situation last season. They lost 2 games and they had their backs against the wall and were able to run the table. Obviously, they did not lose a game in the manner they did this past weekend, squandering away a 25-point fourth-quarter lead. But you're right. It seems like a group that's been through enough adversity, they're able to turn the page and find a way to bounce back. Let's hear what the Tigers are feeling as they get set to welcome Wilton as the rivalry reignites at Tiger Hollow today.
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman here at Tiger Hollow with the Ridgefield Tigers alongside Jackson Mitchell and Greg Gatto. The Ridgefield Tigers, they get set to take on rival, the Wilton Warriors. Guys, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me. Greg, we'll start with you. A great season so far, taking over the reins here for Drew Fowler. What's it been like being the quarterback this year of the Ridgefield Tigers?
You know, it's awesome to be in an environment like Ridgefield where everybody comes out to watch us and we just have great fan support. So we know every Friday night or Saturday, as it's going to be tomorrow, we're going to have fans behind us and get rowdy.
And Jackson, you know, the chemistry between you guys has been unbelievable so far. 3 touchdown catches yesterday. What's the chemistry like between you and your quarterback here?
You know, we just worked really hard in the off-season, getting right. We came out here without the coaches, just working on our connection. You know, I wasn't playing receiver last year, and he didn't play much last year, so we want to get that connection going this year.
And coming off a tough loss on Saturday, how are you guys able to rebuild, kind of bounce back, and get ready for a big rival like Wilton tomorrow?
Honestly, we just had to put that in the back of our mind and just move on from it because we know we got an opponent here that really wants to beat us. So we just had to get right and get ready to play them. You know, coaches gave us a good scouting report, and we just had to prepare.
Speaking of scouting report, what are you expecting from this Wilton defense tomorrow as you step up in the pocket for the Ridgefield offense?
Well, we know that it's a huge game for them, a huge game for us, so they're going to bring everything they got. But we're definitely prepared. Don't want to reveal too much, but we'll be seeing a good look from us, and I think it's going to go well.
Now, what's the chemistry like between this entire team? You know, we've given the offense a little bit of love here, but let's talk about the defense here, making some big stops this year. Talk about your defense a little bit.
Yeah, it's awesome to know that even if we're not clicking on all cylinders, the defense is going to step up. And I say we're probably one of the hardest hitting teams in the whole state, and everybody knows that when they come into Ridgefield, it's going to be a dogfight.
Now, coming into Tiger Hollow, what are you expecting from this crowd with the Tigers in tomorrow?
Honestly, I'm probably the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of at Ridgefield here. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be crazy. You know, they're out here and excited, ready to play Wilton.
And Greg, what are you going to tell your teammates before a game like this? It's homecoming as well. There's going to be a lot of emotion left on the field against a rival like Wilton. What are you going to say to your teammates before the game?
One of the big things is we want to bring the anger we felt after last week, such a crushing loss, even though we played well and we did a lot of good things. If you're not getting a win, it doesn't count. So we're going to bring that anger out here, and everybody gets ready for Wilton every year. Like, we haven't played them in 2 years. It's an even bigger game, so there'll definitely be no shortage of emotion and passion.
And for you, Jackson, if you could describe this offense in one word, what would it be?
Explosive. You know, we make big plays. We're a big play offense, you know, and that's just what we do.
All right, final question for both of you guys. If you have a message to the Tigers Den right now to get them psyched up for the game, what would it be?
Get rowdy.
For Jackson, what about you? What are you telling the student section right now to kind of get them pumped up against a rival like Wilton for homecoming game?
You know, they haven't beat us in 22 years, so just get ready for that. You know, got to keep that streak going.
All right, guys, thanks for spending a couple minutes. All right, best of luck against the Wilton Warriors. All right, we're going to step aside when we come back. We have plenty of more coverage here on FCIAC Tailgate as we get ready for the Ridgefield Tigers and the Wilton Warriors right here on the HAN Network.
Thank you again to both Greg and Jackson. Excited is the exact word. They're ready to move on, and they are looking forward to meeting up with Wilton again this afternoon. We've got one more break for you here, but when we get back, John Kovacs rejoins us. We'll look ahead to the keys to success for both Wilton and Ridgefield, who kick it off from Tiger Hollow at 1:30 right here on the HAN Network.
Foreign Car. Yes, Buchanan Foreign Car has been servicing all makes of foreign cars for over 50 years. We also buy, sell, and consign cars too. We can help you with all your automotive needs from service to sales. Call us at 203-966-2681.
At Portofino Restaurant and Wine Bar in Bethel, fresh and simple food is our concept. Owned and operated by brothers Rocco and Louie, Portofino has a distinct and diverse food and drink menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come join us for live local music on Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesday nights for mouthwatering prime rib, and every Thursday night is ladies' night. Planning a party? All our catering menus are personalized to suit your event and your budget. Join us at the Dolan Plaza, 213 Greenwood Ave, Bethel, and call us at 203-797-8131. Like us on Facebook.
Welcome back to FCIAC Tailgate on the HAN Network. We quickly look at the other games that are in action as well today, John. Let's start with McMahon, Bridgeport Central. Who do you like in that one and why?
I like McMahon. I think they'll keep Bridgeport Central's offense off the field. You've got a struggling Central team. I think McMahon gets another W.
Kev, your thoughts?
I like the Senators in this game. I think Central is just going through a bit of a struggle right now. Senators take this one.
I'll go Hilltoppers.
Okay.
I think they've got big playability. I think that they can pull one off here. Trumbull at Danbury. Obviously, this is a game that we would expect Trumbull to be able to control, but it's a different Eagles team. Do you think they have enough?
I'm going to take the Hatters in this one. The Hatters get things going. I think you're going to see a little bit of an upset here. You pick the Hilltoppers. I'm going Hatters in this one.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick because Trumbull does not have Marquise Woods. Yeah. He was ejected on that hit that knocked A.J. Hall out of last night's Norwalk game. But I think Trumbull's got enough. I think Trumbull clicks on enough cylinders to get past Danbury, but it could be tighter than people might think.
Definitely close, but I think Nicholas is more than enough on offense. The Eagles prevail. We've got Fairfield Ward traveling to Darien, looking to stretch the win streak to 31. What kind of a shot are you giving the Mustangs?
I like what Ward's doing. They're trending in the right direction, but Darien's Darien. I think the Blue Wave just keeps on rolling.
I agree with John. This is a Ward program that's up and coming. They're trending in the right way, but we all know how good the Blue Wave are. This is just too good of a football team. They're going to take care of business today. Make it 31 today. Ward
coming off its first shutout in 8 seasons. Still don't think it's enough defensively. And the only team that's going to beat Darien, they're going to do it via a shootout. I don't think the Mustangs have enough on offense. Move the streak to 31. West Hill at Greenwich later on this afternoon. The Vikings 4-1. Greenwich 4-0. This is a meeting of first and second place in the West Division.
Well, you look at last year, West Hill really gave Greenwich a good battle in that game. I expect to see the same thing, but obviously, how good is this Greenwich offense right now? Gavin Muir is playing lights out. I expect Greenwich to take care of business today.
I think Greenwich is going to get some pressure on West Hill. They're going to try to take West Hill's athletes out. Gavin Muir is going to face some threats, but I don't think any of it's enough. I think Greenwich does too many things well. West Hill's going to put some points up, but I think Greenwich's wins going away.
I actually want to go with the Greenwich defense as my key in that game. I think the offense is going to do what it does, but the defense shines today. A couple big turnovers, maybe a defensive or special team score. The Cardinals roll. And then that brings us to our game of the week. Wilton at Ridgefield. 2 years removed on the football field, but they're ready to kick it off again. It's at 1:30. We've got it here live starting at 1:15, John. Keys to success in today's game, one for each team.
Wilton's got to do what it does in terms of control.
Great one, John.
I think Ridgefield rides home field advantage, but I think it's a tight game.
What side of the fence are you sitting on?
I think he's afraid to ask me.
What side of the fence are you sitting on today? Better question. What sideline are you going to stand on?
I'm going to go to both. Come on, I got to give both Wilton and Ridgefield some love, but at the end of the day, I got to go with my Tigers. It's homecoming. It's a big game. Emotion's going to be riding high. I take the Tigers, but it's going to be by 3 today.
All right. I tell you what, if Wilton does win, expect him in blue on Nutmeg Sports on Monday.
I'll take it.
Blue, we'll have a white W on it. Come on.
All right, guys, great job. We are back at 1:15 to get you ready for kickoff. Thank you again to Kate Chaplensky. All of our Make-A-Wish guests. Stay tuned later on this afternoon. We'll have plenty more involving Make-A-Wish. For John Kovac, Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Renito. Thank you for watching FCIAC Tailgate right here on the HAN Network.